Okay, so let's look at the list of 2025's top songs. So starting off, the two big ones are Die With A Smile by Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars and Apata by Rosé and Bruno Mars. So right off the bat, Bruno got the top two songs of 2025. He was the top listened to artist, and he made a really big deal, so I did want to highlight that because that's going to come up in a few minutes. Shabuzi, he's, collaborating with Jelly Roll now. Lose Control, Teddy Swims. Fate of Ophelia, Taylor Swift. Another one I wanted to mention. Ordinary by Alex Warren. Beautiful Things, Benson Boone. Luther, Kendrick Lamar, and SZA. Man I Need by Olivia Dean. And of course, Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish. I think that was somewhere higher on the list, but I failed to include that, so my apologies if that's off in any way. First of all, I really do love Billie Eilish. She's an incredible artist. She's very creative. So I will use her comparatively with some of the other artists. And I'm not trying to diss on anybody, but I'm just going off of personal experience and very light research. So, yeah, let's get into it. So let's just start off with Bruno Mars, because this is kind of a hot topic right now. He just recently released his new track for his new album, I Just Might. I was actually there on YouTube on the release date. I watched like maybe 11 hours after it was released or something. And I watched the music video and I listened to the song, and it was good. I will say it was listenable, it was enjoyable, it was good, it was somewhat catchy. The music video had a very 70s era, which really works for Bruno. He's been consistent with that, so I did like that and appreciate that. But as many of the fans, and I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a huge fan, but as many people have also noticed, it just didn't hit the same. And I mean, first of all, it's kind of hard to maintain that status after being the top artist of 2025 and being the top two songs on charts. Also, let's mention the fact that he was a collaborator in those two songs. So Lady Gaga and Rosé had a lot of credit to be given there. And you could say, oh, he boosted them, or my battery is dying. One moment, please. I apologize, I had to relocate the video due to technical difficulties, but the flash should be coming back on so you can see me better. Ignore the cord. As I was saying, what was I saying? Yeah, he was a collaborator with them, as they were a collaborator with him. I mean, really, Lady Gaga's been in the spotlight just pretty much as long as Bruno Mars has. She's been phenomenal, absolutely creative, as well as Bruno. Very innovative. Rosé is kind of a new budding artist, somewhat, not necessarily. She's been in the K-pop scene for a very long time now, but, asserting her own identity, she's definitely making her tracks, and it's very appreciated. But you have to understand that for him to maintain that spotlight, and also considering that this is a solo track, that he's not collaborating with anyone, this is Bruno Mars by himself, so we may have been spoiled by the riches of Lady Gaga and Rosé, and there's a beautiful chemistry that always comes into play when two artists collaborate, especially two very talented and infamous artists, so that is to be considered as well. But it's just significant that people are realizing that it's just not that great. And the strange part about it is Bruno has not always been in the constant spotlight. He's not like Taylor Swift. He doesn't need to produce a new album every year. He's taken several years off. He's taken a hiatus. And of course, fans will always be wondering, oh, when's the new album coming out? When's Bruno gonna, what's he gonna come out with next? Of course. I mean, when they like you, they'll wait for you, though. And so that's what he did. And it's just strange that there's not that much pressure. They know he's not the type of artist who's going to drop a new album every chance he gets. So it felt rushed. And the question is why? Why would he, have such a washed out sound or, song? And so that there's speculation, but I think a lot of it has to do with, well, maybe he partially did feel pressure to keep up with that spotlight, to keep up with the identity, and maybe we were let down because it was a solo project and he just hasn't really had time to make his songs come from the heart and make something truly authentic and unique and innovative out of it. But all things considered, it was a decent song. So I'd like to move on to Taylor Swift next. Haha, it's back. So with Taylor Swift, there's been speculation that she's using AI for her new album, and I haven't done much research. I've only been given what I've seen. Some of the lyrics, I mean, I won't argue. I will say some of the lyrics undoubtedly seem very much different from her style. Some of them definitely feel very lackluster, maybe just very juvenile, especially Redwood. I mean, come on, Taylor, what's that? You do have to consider, though, that she's been famous since she was a little girl. And she's always been known for that reputation of, oh, I write breakup songs, I write about my exes. Well, now she's got a husband. Her and Travis are madly in love, and she can't write about her exes anymore. So she's kind of at this stage now where she's shifting gears, and all of her fans, are watching. And they may not know how to respond to that either, because it's like, well, I love Taylor Swift so much. But it's just like, they don't know how to react to that, and I don't think she knows what to give them. It just feels very disappointing nonetheless. There are artists who are very more, girl boss. There are more artists who are very, bedroomy. I don't want to, get too weird about it, but the girls like Sabrina Carpenter and stuff, and that's never really been Taylor's type, so it's just kind of weird. I mean, that's one track out of the album, though. I do think Girl Boss Too Close to the Sun is just cringe. Maybe she just felt rushed. I mean, after all these hits popping out, maybe she's just, not having that creative space that she needs. And we all need space. So anyway, and then there's Teddy Swims. I gotta admit, I don't know much about him. I only know his one hit, Lose Control, like everybody else does. And it's a very powerful song, and I'm gonna get into the theme pretty much in just a minute. But apparently he's also admitted to using AI. He has admitted to using AI in some of his work, which is sort of a disappointment. It's a controversial take. Some may think that it's creative exploration. Some people might think that, yeah, that's just borderline bad. But, it just depends on the person and their perspective on it. Personally, I think if you're experimenting with music and you're not letting it take control, it might not be a bad thing. But you still need the theme, and you want it to come from the heart. Not just for fun. You want your music to come from the heart. That's the most important thing. So if the theme is good, if the meaning behind it is purely from you, then just using like AI to generate maybe like a bass or a beat, just a little foundation. If you don't really know anybody to collaborate with to help you with that, then I guess that's fine. But I don't know what his deal is. I just think that people may be overdoing it just a little bit, or people are going to start overdoing it, and that's what's scary. But we're going to shift from the AI topic because there is a pretty big theme in the list of 2025 hits. Alright, so the biggest ones, not every track, because there's more fun ones like Apatu, but for the most part, let's look at that list again. So we have Die With a Smile. If the world was ending, I'd want to be next to you. It's very existential. It's still about savoring the moment, make the most of it while you're still young. Bar song Shabuzi, that's kind of fun. Lose Control, again, it is pretty cutthroat. It is from the heart. He loses control and she's not with him. Right, Fate of Ophelia, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really dove into that very well, but it's catchy. Ordinary, yeah, that's pretty big. Beautiful Things, don't take these beautiful things that I got. Ignore the whole Kendrick Lamar thing, but he is relevant. I like Kendrick, I do, but that's not what we're focusing on. Man I Need, Olivia Dean, that's got a very throwback, very, 80s kind of vibe to it. I do like that. Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish, that's, another really deep one. So what does Die With a Smile, Apata, Lose Control, Ordinary, Beautiful Thing, and Birds of a Feather have in common? I would say that a lot of it is, if we died today, what would it all add up to? Let's make the most of everything that we've got. Let's, I love you so much, I don't want it to end. It's just very existential. There's a lot of common themes. You can look at the lyrics. I'm not gonna sing it for you, but there is some very commonalities to it, and I think it makes you ask a few questions, like, what prompted this theme? Did everybody on this list kind of have the same mindset? Is it things going on around us in the world that made us have this revelation? What if we died today? I want to make you know how much I love you. I want to be with you forever, even if we die. Our souls will be together forever. We're bonded. Don't take this from me. It's just very, the fear of losing someone you love, the fear of it all coming to an end, but also the thrill of getting to enjoy that moment while it's still there. And I think maybe we've disconnected from ourselves, from our relationships, and we're trying to get that back. Maybe that's why there's that theme of Bruno Mars and Olivia Dean, that very kind of throwback 70s vibe. Maybe it's about that, or maybe it's about, the wars going on in the world, a lot of scary stuff. It's just a question to ask yourself, and there's really no right or wrong answer, because you can't find that out no matter how many subreddits you reach or whatever you research. But listen to these songs. I do enjoy a few of them. I don't think that the world's gone to crap just yet. I think there's a lot of very spiritual, deep meaning with some of these artists who really care about what they're putting out there in this world, and they really love their music. And I think definitely Billie Eilish is a very creative person, with her brother, and you can definitely watch some videos and she tells you, the story of how her songs come together. Some of it's very real to life, some of it's hypothetical, but there's definitely some relevance, and we're not lost yet. There are some of those songs that will just get stuck in your head, play in your dreams, and give you goosebumps. So, yeah, be sure to check that out, and if you have any song like that, just let me know. Again, I'm happy to listen to it and maybe talk about it a little. If we ever reach 50 subs, we can do a live stream and chat it up. But, yeah, you guys just have a wonderful day.